Hey everybody, it's Keri Johnson. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about how to accelerate your manifesting. I talk about accelerating and amplifying all the time. And we don't necessarily need to amplify our desires because the universe and God does that for us. When we speak something, it always comes back bigger and better if we put that into it, whether it's good or bad. That's, in my experience, what I've noticed. Everything always comes back almost 10x. So amplifying is not the problem. Accelerating is something that I learned early on. And I questioned, why do some things come in overnight? Why do some things take a year? And why do some things take 10 years? And I have a story for you. And then I'm going to give you a technique to use that I've been using that has helped accelerate my manifesting. In my 20s, I walked into a restaurant and the bartender knew who I was. And she said, "Oh, I've been meaning to ask you, Keri, were you in that Sea-Doo commercial?" She goes, "It looked exactly like you. You know, I just saw it the other night. Were you in that Sea-Doo commercial?" And I was like, for a minute, I go, "No, I wasn't." You know, I was almost like disappointed that I couldn't say, yes, I was. To be in that state of that person that was in commercials, I thought would have been really cool to admit to somebody, especially being recognized. But I wasn't in it. That was not me. And she goes, "No, I'm sure it was you. It was your hair, it was, your curly hair, whatever. Just, it looked just like you." And once again, I had to admit, nope, it wasn't me, But that got me thinking. I'm just like, God, I really, really wish I could have said that, I'd love to be in a Sea-Doo commercial. So then the next time someone sees it and asks me that, I could say yes. So that was kind of my train of thought. That was what my thoughts were doing at that moment. They were kind of like, as I speak, I think that they're like spirals going out to the universe. And if we don't cancel them, the universe grabs it and then starts to collect the pieces in the world, all the bridge of incidences and all the synchronicities, the serendipitous moments, the God winks, to put our desire, the final desire, together for us, moving all the pieces. So when our words go out, our thoughts go out, the spirals go out to the universe grabs it and then starts to add the details to it, so then you can experience it in real time, real life. Witnessing a scene that you're creating to manifest in your imagination as the viewer or as the one that's actually living it are two completely different things. And one way will accelerate it and one way will possibly bring it to you, but it may take a longer time. And if you're witnessing a scene like a movie screen, if you're seeing you on a movie screen in the position that you want to be in that lifestyle, with that person, if you are seeing that as if you're watching the movie of it, will extend the manifestation and will not accelerate it. It could also have you witnessing someone that looks like you getting married, or having someone that looks like you in the Sea-Doo commercial, because you're witnessing it and you're creating the scene. It's so important to put yourself in that scene and witnessing things through your own eyes as if you're experiencing it. Back to the Sea-Doo commercial. At this time, I was just running my photography business. I was not modeling yet. And 10 years later, I started modeling. 10 years later, I was getting connected with agents for my clients. A lot of my clients wanted to be models, so I wanted to have a full service, photography business for them and have agents I could send them to, because I was doing their pictures, I was doing their portraits, I was doing their comp cards, so I did have agencies, that I had contacts in these agencies. And one of them said to me, "Why don't you submit your pictures? They're always looking for lifestyle models. They're looking for moms, girlfriends, wives, to play the part of buying a new home, eating at a restaurant, in picture frames. The people in the picture frames, we wonder who these people are, when we buy the picture frames, and I never really understood what that was all about, or who those people were, or how they got booked on the commercials, had no idea. So I submitted my pictures to an agency in Miami and went over to go have a meeting with this one woman. Within a week, she had me on like 3 or 4 different auditions. I booked one job immediately, and I was getting called back to many of them right away. And I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, this is cool. I had no idea. I had no idea I would be a fit for it. I had no idea that there was even a market for me, not Victoria's Secret models, not runway models, not fashion models. It was just me, just a mom. And so that made me feel good that there was a market for me, a new experience, and then having the agents book me, cast me, and then getting called back. So I went to an audition, and it was a Sea-Doo, for a Sea-Doo commercial. Now at this time, of course, I forgot about it because it was 10 years later. And that's a lot of times what happens. You know, we manifest something, we forget about it, and then that's when it comes in. 10 years later, went to a Sea-Doo casting, and then I got the call back for it, and then I got the job. And we were in the Keys shooting the Sea-Doo commercial. It was a SAG actors union, and I wasn't SAG. I was a principal role in a SAG commercial. I automatically became SAG eligible. And you can't become part of the union unless you've done a principal role in one of the episodes or shows or commercials. And I didn't know that. So right off the bat, I got booked in a Sea-Doo commercial. I was SAG eligible, so I didn't even have to try for that. So in the event I wanted to pursue the union part of it, I could immediately just sign up for it. I mean, it blew my mind. And then the last one was, it paid residual. So every single time that it ran, then I got a check. So I think that job started at maybe 7,000 and ended at like 15,000. My very first job, that 10 years earlier, I was asked if I was in a Sea-Doo commercial. And I said, no, but I really wish I would have said that. I wish I could say that I was. So fast forward 10 years later, that manifestation came in. I didn't activate it. I didn't really think about it. I didn't put myself in the scene of it. I didn't put emotions around it other than, wouldn't it be cool if, like one of those moments, wouldn't it be cool if I could have said yes, that I was in a SAG, not even SAG at that time, just a Sea-Doo commercial. And it came in. So then I was like, okay, well, we don't have 10 years to wait for everything that we want. How do we get things faster? How do we accelerate it? And then that's when I was really working on these methods to accelerate, figure out, you know, how fast can I bring something in? How fast can I bring a certain amount of money in? How fast can I bring clients in? And then that's what I teach, of course. You manifest consciously. So you know what you want, you speak it, you can accelerate it, you can go into the scene, you can create it properly so you know that it's done and that you don't have to think about it again, versus just wishing for something, you know, wondering wouldn't it be cool if you did that, if you got that job, if you got that thing, and then not thinking about it again. Those are two different pathways. And most of the time we are manifesting from a place of being unconscious, you know, and we're just in the same pattern, doing the same thing, thinking the same way, believing the same thoughts, you know, experiencing the same experiences, even if we're just going back in our mind and just replaying things over and over again that don't serve us. Then we're creating that, and that's why our lives don't change. That's why each day kind of looks the same until you shift the pattern. So I teach how to create consciously. So you're doing that on autopilot. You're illuminating your life. You're calling things in. You're knowing and having the tools to use no matter what situation you're going through. These are life skills that should have been taught in school. Going back to your mind, imagining, dreaming, fantasizing about how you want it to look and getting excited for what's to come. Because anything's possible. And I love it. It's so, so cool. It's so amazing. So I have scripting and manifesting calls available. I've got some links in the description. If you enjoyed this video or resonated with it or have any questions, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell if you want to, be notified for more videos when I put them up. So I will talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this one.